So hi guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the Infinix NOTE 10 Pro. This is a really good phone and I've been using it for a couple of hours now, almost over a day, and this is a full review and unboxing. So let's start with the unboxing process first. Okay, so as with any other smartphone device, you get the usual stuff inside the box, and I like the unboxing experience with Infinix devices because it's sort of the same experience you get across all devices, so you know what to expect. Please note that I'm doing this review before knowing the exact price of the phone. So this review is independent of pricing. So if I say the phone is really good, or if I say something about the phone is not quite good, it's because I don't know the price yet. The phone is set to be launched in Kenya on June 16th. So after launch is when perhaps we'll know the prices. But thanks to Infinix for sending the unit early for review. So as usual, on the top of the phone, when you get it out of the box, you get the details about the main specs of the phone. The phone comes running Android 11 and it has a Helio G95 processor. There's a 5000 milliamp battery and there's a 64 megapixel main camera at the back with a 16 megapixel main selfie camera at the front. So those are the main specs of the phone. But after getting it out of the box and using it for a while, there are a couple of things I really like, and I mean really like about the phone. This phone is really smooth. Finding a way of explaining that to you on camera is quite hard because I can't show you the smoothness of the phone on a 60Hz video, and I can't quite explain what that could feel like, but I believe it's something to do with the touch sampling and the 90Hz rate display. So the touch sampling is at 180 Hz, which means it's very responsive, and the display scrolls and refreshes at 90 Hz, which means it's very fast. And it's not noticeable. I like that Infinix has it at 90 Hz on default. For other phones, you have to go to settings and then manually set it to 90 Hz. I feel like Infinix is pretty sort of confident about the 90 Hz panel they're using here, or about its battery life, because higher refresh rate displays use up more battery, but this has a 5000 milliamp battery. So I feel like Infinix is pretty sure about both the battery and the 90 Hz display here. That's why it comes at 90 Hz out of the box, which is really good. So immediately you unbox it and you're setting it up, you feel the smoothness of the display, and I love that. I also love that it's a full HD panel. For a while, Infinix has used 720p panels and I've hated that. I love that they have gone back to 1080p panels, and that makes it very enjoyable watching content with it. And I love that Infinix went ahead and got certification for Netflix. So on this phone you can watch Netflix in HD if you pay for HD Netflix or Ultra Netflix. I don't know the package, but if you pay for the higher end packages of Netflix, you can watch your Netflix shows in HD on this panel. And that's an important feature because this is a really huge screen. As you can see, a 6.9 inch display is not a small screen. The other thing I really like about this phone is something that we often not talk about in reviews, but in this review it's an important feature. This phone is thin and light. It's not a heavy phone the way you're used to Infinix phones. Some of Infinix phones from the past being quite bulky and huge and sort of big on the hand. Yes, it's a big phone on the hand, but it's really thin. I like that, and it has this sort of profile that keeps the weight balanced, so it feels balanced but also light in a very nice way. On this side there's a volume up and down button with a fingerprint scanner which acts as the power button. On this side you have the SIM ejector tray, so you can put 2 SIM slots and 1 SD card dedicated slot. That's really good. At the top it's clean, nothing. I wish Infinix had an IR blaster the way Xiaomi does, but it's clean, looks good. Sort of flat with some edges, with some curves at the edges, really good. At the bottom you get the headphone jack, a microphone, a Type-C cable, Type-C port, really good to have Type-C coming as standard on Note devices going forward. That's really good. And the single speaker. The main thing that I don't like here is the single speaker. It sounds good, it gets pretty loud, but it's not as clear and as really good as with high-end phones, which is understandable because this is not a very high-end phone. It will be around 20,000 from my guessings. Let's wait and see for the official pricing. But yeah, the speaker is not the strongest part of the phone, but it's quite good. The microphone, I like it for the recordings I've tried with it, especially as you'll see in the camera. It can record really good audio. Just a single microphone. I wish Infinix invests in having, say, a microphone here and a microphone at the top, as we see with high-end phones. So yeah, the design, quite good. The thinness, quite good. The look of it, quite good. The feel on the hand, really good. This is a premium feeling phone, and Infinix deserve to be recognized for that, because there was the 08, I believe that was the phone. It felt really bulky. Even the Note 8 felt quite bulky. I don't have it here to show you and compare that with, but it felt quite bulky. This feels very well designed, very nice on the hand, and it feels really premium. The back is made of plastic. At the top there is a shiny sort of finish. At the bottom there is a shiny finish but with sort of lines. It's a fingerprint magnet, so you'll have to clean it and keep it in a case often, so people won't be seeing that look, because if you want it to look good, you have to clean it or to have it in a case. So yeah, it looks good, but you have to have it on a case. There's an included case. So the included case in the box is this sort of clear case made from, I think, plastic or silicone, I don't know. It doesn't change the feel of the phone on the hand. It introduces quite some weight, but it's acceptable. And the good thing about the case is it also makes the fingerprint scanner work better, because it raises up the placement of your hand so that you feel the fingerprint scanner better. Without it, the fingerprint scanner just feels flush to the phone, which is quite annoying. You don't find the placement very well. So with the case, you find it easier. I hope we can see better cases, because I don't like this look of the case. So I hope we can see better, thinner cases that don't destroy the aesthetics of the device. Otherwise, it's a really good and well-designed device. I don't know what you expect with 8 gigs of RAM and this Helio processor. Personally, from the time the phone leaked, from the time we first saw details of the upcoming Note 10, I expected it to be quite the performer. And for the day I've used it, it is. Everything loads, works pretty fast. It recognizes 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It recognizes VoLTE networks really well. All the VoLTE networks in the country work well here. And it is really fast with downloads. That's something I've noticed. It's not because of the Wi-Fi I'm using, rather it's because of how fast downloads happen. When I was updating apps and downloading apps, they download really fast and install really fast. It has a dedicated game mode that will allow you to get the best of the phone when playing games. So everything else will be sort of pushed back to the background so that your game experience is as smooth as possible. And I like that about this, because if you're looking for a gaming phone and you don't want to spend a lot of money, here's a phone for you to consider. General performance is really good, like I've explained, with the downloads and installation of apps. So that's something for everyone to consider. If you're one who uses social media, some little browsing and taking of photos, you'll have a very smooth experience with this phone. Switching between apps, finding apps still in memory thanks to the 8 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM, the 128 gigs of storage. You can install as many apps and still find them in memory while using the phone. Another small thing people rarely talk about is when you're installing updates to this phone, you can install updates in a very fast manner. This is something I realized because the phone came with very many updates and I had to install them. So when you hit restart after installing an update, it usually takes quite a while with different phones, but here it takes a really short time to install an update, and I like that about this phone. Still on performance, Infinix has done a few changes to their UI. I still do not like XOS. I have said this a couple of times, and I will continue saying that Infinix needs to work on XOS. XOS is still really bad, still has very weird features that I feel nobody needs, and I feel they could be put as optional so that they don't come set on by default. But the good thing with this phone that I've realized is that for the first time I can switch off very many of these XOS features that I don't like. For example, there's a smart tab that you swipe from the right to access a shortcut, for power buttons, for quick access to apps and all that. Something I don't feel is necessary. It comes on by default, but you can go under settings and switch it off. There's a home tab when you swipe from left to right, where you will usually get your Google Now cards. Infinix has something weird there. The good thing is I can switch it off, and I've switched it off so that I don't get those weird notifications and those weird news that I don't want to read. That's good that Infinix has moved to a level where you can switch them off. I hope we move to a level where they do not come, they're not there on XOS, so that I can get my Google Now feed when I swipe from left to right. I also like that most of the apps that you don't need, you can easily uninstall or disable them. Before, there were a couple of apps you could uninstall, and then when you tried to uninstall some or disable some, you couldn't disable them. I like that right now, when I don't need an app that comes pre-installed, I can either uninstall or disable it. And I will advise you, immediately you get this phone, if you don't know what an app does, if you never use that app, please disable or uninstall it, because you don't want bloatware and annoying notifications at the top. In terms of battery, there's little to say. This is great battery life. So yeah, you can expect very good battery life from your Infinix NOTE 10 Pro. It's the 5000 milliamp battery. It has a fast charger included in the box, that 33 watts, so you can charge your phone really fast. Whenever the battery drops to a percentage you're not comfortable with, just plug it in for a few minutes and you have more juice to get you through the day. So now let's talk about the cameras. So at the back there's a 64 megapixel main camera and an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. Then there's two other cameras. I think one is a macro sensor and one's a depth sensor. Both are 2 megapixels. Those are not important. The main part of the camera that you should focus on is the 64 megapixel main lens, because that's what you'll be using either way. It's good, it's sharp. Here is a video from the back camera. Okay, so if you're wondering if you can use the back camera for vlogs and for shooting, if you have lights, because I have lights, this is how your videos will look like with a back camera and some lighting included. At the front, there's a 16 megapixel selfie camera. It's also good, it's sharp. You can take expectedly good selfies from it. There's a flash at the front, so if you're in a dark room and you want to take a selfie, you can use the front flash. That's something not many phones offer. The other good thing is that it can take really good videos. So here's a sample from the selfie camera. And this is how your front camera, the selfie camera on the front, will shoot videos. So if you have good lighting, the videos will look good. So if you want to vlog with these cameras, you can expect very good experience for the price point. So you can walk around. If you have good lighting outdoors and take videos with it, you'll just have to have a stabilizer, because there's no inbuilt stabilization here, both electronic or optical. So you'll have to either have it at a place where it's standing still, or you'll have to have a stabilizer if you want to vlog and walk around with it. But as you can see from the videos, they're really good, and you can expect to shoot quality video content from both the back camera and the front camera. So as you can see from the photos, the Infinix NOTE 10 Pro is a capable camera for shooting portraits. They're not very good. You can't say they're the best portraits, but they're quite good. It's good for shooting landscape. As you can see, the landscape photos are not quite detailed, but they show you enough information that can be shared on social media. So okay guys, that's it for the Infinix NOTE 10 Pro unboxing and review. Tell me your thoughts on the phone. I quite like it. It'll be my phone for the couple of days going forward until the launch. You can follow me on social media to see photos taken by the phone. I'll have more photos shared in my review article and all that. So yeah, that's it for the review. I feel like if you're looking for a phone and you're hell-bent on getting an Infinix phone, maybe for the battery life, maybe for the awesome display at the front, and it's a really good display by the way, this is a phone to consider. I don't know yet the price. I'm thinking anywhere between 20,000 to 25,000, which is a good deal for this phone. Even better if it will be cheaper, because there's the NOTE 10 Pro. You can pick the NOTE 10 when that becomes available. I like that it's USB Type-C. I like that there's a headphone jack for everyone who will be vlogging with it. You can insert your microphones there. I like that Netflix is HD, that you can play HD YouTube videos and all that. I like that the front and the back cameras can be used very well for content creation, and that it's a performer so that you can edit your videos straight from the phone. I like that this time around the bloatware is reduced. I like that I can disable the things I don't like, and that I can get a clean experience from XOS after disabling all that. So yeah, that's my review of the NOTE 10 Pro. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and please subscribe.